Hi, my name is Kathy Sheffers, and I'm with Goodheart-Willcox Publisher. I'm joined by my colleague, Katrina Pilo. We are so happy to be with the author team of Amy Lee, Margaret Delahanty Kelly, Catherine Lee, and Maggie Bergeron, who just published a brand new resource for first-year experience courses.
Approaching College with Purpose is focused on the importance of students beginning their educational journey with intention, developing good habits, and creating a strong mindset, and acquiring strategies to ensure a successful transition to college.
So when you're all talking about instructors and students bringing their experiences to the present moment, I was thinking about all of you as authors bringing all of your experiences to the moment of writing this book, and a pretty special author team with 3 instructors, as well as that unique perspective of a student author, which you don't hear about too much with books. Do you each want to talk a little bit about your experiences that you brought to the book, and then Catherine, maybe the growth that you've seen as being a student author on the book as you're about to graduate from college? So love to hear from each of you.
I guess I'll go first because I got the honor of bringing the team together, and I have been thinking of the first question you asked, which was, what was your inspiration for the book? And for me, part of the inspiration was a chance to work with this group of people. None of these people knew each other. I was lucky enough to know all of them, and so we all came together in the writing of this book. And I thought we would be a great team because I think we all bring that central value of honoring our work with students and teachers. We believe fundamentally in the value of every human being and what they bring to a classroom, and also the importance of growth and challenge, and this idea that we need to be challenged to grow, but we need to be challenged within a threshold and a context that support our humanity and our value. So I was excited to get to bring this team together. My own work has been, I went to school to study literature, but as soon as I started to get a PhD to study literature, but as soon as I started teaching, I only wanted to study teaching. And as everybody here has heard me say, I was told multiple times that I was throwing my very important career away by doing that, because that work has historically not been as valued in universities or in higher education. And it's an increasingly emerging field, I would say. But then I have been drawn towards programs that let me focus on equity and access in higher education, and working with teachers and students who see higher education as a place that plays a critical and transformative role in society and the world and in human development writ large. And so I have gotten to direct programs from first year to PhD that support those goals. And I've gotten to write a lot of books and articles about teaching in higher education. But again, this is my first book for students. And I have to say it felt the highest stakes of any book I've ever written, because teaching means more to me than anything else in my career. And I have gotten to wear a lot of hats in my career, and I didn't want to get it wrong. And it's very easy to get things wrong in writing because you're not there to explain it. And so I was also happy to have this team to help create this vision and what it resulted in. I'm going to turn it over to Margaret.
So I think I'd say pedagogy is at the root of my background, in that I originally started, I saw a sign on a bus. I was working temp and I saw a sign on a bus, do you want to teach somebody to read? And I thought, yeah, sure. So I called the number and I started volunteering teaching ESL in an adult basic education context here in the Twin Cities. And I was really, really bad at it, because you really have to know how to teach if you're going to teach a population of people with very limited time, very busy lives, a lot of high stakes need to learn, and to learn quickly, and if you don't share a language. And so with that, I pursued a degree in applied linguistics, teaching English as a second language, and then started my career at the University of Minnesota, which evolved very quickly away from ESL. But that core kind of drive of, here are learners who need to know something, and they need to know something in an both a timely manner, but then also in a way that it really is learned and it's absorbed and it becomes a part of who they are. So I think pedagogy has always been core to my career that way. And then in my time at the university, so the consistency is that I've always worked with first-year students. And it's been such an honor and a privilege to work with learners at that stage and place in their life in developing their own sense of self and purpose and what brings them to higher education in the first place. Maggie, do you want to go next?
Sure. I am a first generation college student and remember that I didn't know so many things in that first year and didn't want that to be the same issue for anyone if I could help it at all. So my career has spanned teaching high school seniors specifically, and also teaching first and second year college students, specifically in the field of dance. So coming at things from a very embodied and embodied, but also like you are creating knowledge and culture through moving your body and through thinking about how bodies move and are in relationship to each other, which I feel like really connects to this idea of journaling, right? And reflection. How are you reflecting through your body? How are you reflecting through your words, through your thoughts? So I sort of make that connection there. So yeah, spent a lot of time teaching high schoolers, especially those seniors who are at the beginning, like the pre-beginning of their first year of college and how they're thinking about entering college, but then also at the same time, teaching those first and second year college students who are moving through the other side of that transition, and really fortunate to have a lot of time to consider those two perspectives from students and thinking about how I can support that like pre-beginning, but then also when they're moving through that transition into college. And then I'll say also teaching fourth year students and how they're thinking about career and how they're thinking about life and how they're thinking about imagining and creating the way that they're moving through workspaces and how they're creating their work and creating their own careers. So again, another sort of transitional moment. I like the transitional moments in education and I feel like they're everywhere. But I feel like that senior year of high school, first, second year of college, and then that last year of college are big ones.
We started writing this book at just after the end of my sophomore year of college. And so I was really not too distant from my first year experience. And I was very, immersed in the world of college. And that was really like my main kind of focus in my life at that point. And so it was very daunting, but also exciting to think about writing for kind of the people that I was seeing around me and writing for my peers who were very much still my peers at that time and still are, obviously. And so I think I brought a lot of love for school to this and excitement about education, but I don't think I really, when I came into it, I don't think I really understood why I really liked school or who I was within school. I just knew that it was like a place that I'd always really loved. And so I think this experience has been really inspiring for me, particularly working with my three co-authors, because they kind of articulate a vision of education that I had never really had explained to me or had felt directly exposed to, particularly in the way that they value student voices and speak to how important their students are to them in the classroom. And I think that is really something that I feel very fortunate to have had this experience, because I think that really shaped a lot of the rest of my college experience, and particularly my junior and senior year. And then weathering the experience of COVID, I think the things that I learned from them and the things I learned from writing this book were really instrumental in helping me make that transition, because I felt like through the experience of this book, I'd gained so many skills as a student, and particularly in understanding how to see myself within education and how to particularly see myself as like an agent within my education and someone who can be active in shaping it. And so, yeah, so I think that those are really exciting things that I learned that are really applicable to the rest of my life, that are very exciting to me.
I think one of the things we value the most in education is critical thinking and grappling. And so something we hope the book invites people to do is to engage it critically and to give us feedback on things that are or are not working, or if there's areas that they want. I think this idea of it, that it's organic and it's meant to be engaged. And it's part of a conversation in a community with other first year teachers that we are excited to be a part of. And so we want to, we see it as a chance to have conversation and partnership with people around the work we're all doing and we're all invested in with new college students.
Well, I think we'll go ahead and share your email addresses with our audience today so that if there is any future collaboration among all of you and first year experience instructors, how great for you all to connect with each other. So we'll make sure we have these here for instructors to continue the conversation. So thank you.
So this concludes our conversation. Thank you so much for joining us, and I want to thank our authors again for their time today. If you have any additional questions or would like a sample of Approaching College with Purpose textbook and student journal, please contact your GW educational consultant. Thank you again.